Hello and welcome to the Superintendent's Corner. I'm your host Konner Hines, and alongside me is Superintendent Tim Saxton. Mr. Saxton, thank you so much for joining us today.
Glad to be part of this.
Yeah. So in our November interview, voters had just passed a permanent levy renewal, and at the time you said that it would allow us to start tackling the building challenges at Center Intermediate. I understand that the Board of Education has approved a measure to start this process. Can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. So just a quick review. We had that permanent improvement levy up. We asked the voters to make it continuous, meaning it would always be on the books, would not raise taxes. The taxes would stay the same, but allow us to leverage that financial foundation for maybe some potential internal financing to do a major permanent improvement project like remodeling or replacing or renovating Boardman Center. So it happened. So to follow up, on the next step, we at the January board meeting, we approved membership into what they call the ELP, which is the Expedited Local Partnership Program, which allows us to partner with the Ohio Facilities Construction Commission. I got all those right, it's amazing. But it's a state-funded foundation that if you've been to some many rural districts or even one of our rivals, Austintown, these beautiful buildings, they've used the Ohio Facilities Construction Commission to help build those buildings. And so we are in that process of partnering with them, and what they will do is they have a team of professional architects and engineers that will come in and analyze your buildings for you. So we'll have them analyze the center. They produce some wonderful data. They actually did this back in 2014, so they'll just have to really, it should be a quick turnaround process because center, the structure hasn't changed, the population has changed because it used to be a 5 through 8, now it's a 4, 5, 6. But they will take a look at updated labor costs and just the cost of materials and the population, and give us some good data that we can use with a core committee to really take a deep dive look at whether it's smart to renovate, replace, but data-based decisions. So it's exciting. And the good thing is that it doesn't commit us to anything, but allows us to access a high-quality team at no cost to the district.
Yeah, and while we're on the subject of the district buildings and improvements, I understand electricians have been making their way through our elementary buildings as well. Why is that?
Yeah, there's a lot of buzz. It's almost like, I know the holidays are over, but it's almost like it's Christmas again in the elementaries because there's these boxes everywhere. They're not wrapped, but there are boxes everywhere. Some of those are LED lighting, so we're replacing all the lighting across our elementary footprint, both outside, which some people may start to notice, and inside, which one, it's needed, but two, it reduces the electrical load on that building. It's more cost efficient because when you add the air conditioning, that's going to increase the electrical load, and obviously there's going to be a higher electrical cost to run an HVAC system. But so we do that first. And then the second phase, which is actually going on, is they're starting to prepare the buildings to add what they call mini split units to put air conditioning into the parts of the elementary buildings that are not. That scheduled completion should be for next school year, but there's a lot of activity going on now. So there's some buzz and it's very visible. All good stuff.
Yeah, which is really nice to hear.
Absolutely.
And this month we learned about some statewide awards for both the students and administrators. They were honored at this board meeting. And can you give us more about what the awards and what they were about and who they were given to?
Yeah, it's the recognition part of the board meeting is probably honestly the best part. And we're able to recognize outstanding student achievement, team achievement, and every now and then we get to recognize some outstanding adult achievement. But let's talk about the students. Since I've been here, we've had several students win the Martin Luther King essay writing contest. You usually get one here, a couple years we'll get one here, but we have two. And there's only one per grade that's chosen across the entire state of Ohio, and Boardman has two. So Boardman High School's very own Aidan O'Brien won the award, and Meredith Wakefield, sixth grader at Boardman Center Intermediate School. Both essays were chosen, and they will have the opportunity to read those essays in front of a crowd down in Columbus later in February. So pretty excited, it's pretty impressive, and quite an honor for Boardman, for our students, but also to our teachers who are teaching the language arts to help support the kids to be creative and make connections in their writing. For the adults, we have just a tremendous science department over at Glenwood. They do some pretty creative stuff. If you ever go into the courtyard at Glenwood, it's just been completely transformed. And in order to have that type of success, they have to have great support. So their building leader, Principal Bart Smith, is being recognized by the Science Educators Council of Ohio. And he'll be recognized in Columbus next week for his leadership in supporting science education in his classroom. It's pretty neat, and like it's no surprise because of what's going on over there.
Yeah, truly great. And speaking of me and Aiden, we are going to be in this upcoming musical, the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee.
Yeah.
That will be the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. For Friday and Saturday, the show times will be at 7, and the Sunday, it will be a 2:30 matinee. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, I'm pretty excited because one, your group, you included, helped us surprise our Board of Education for his Board of Education Appreciation Month, and it was just nice. They told us no surprise. You better not be doing anything special. Why are all those kids over there? I'm like, I have no idea. I don't really like to lie or mislead, but it was part of a surprise. Meetings. Yeah, and I tell you what, just being in the cafeteria, I know it was a little more impromptu, but man, you guys sounded terrific. And I actually remember I was a building principal here when we did this play many years ago.
Really?
Yes, and I actually, one of my favorite characters, I don't know the full name, so you're gonna have to help me out, but I remember that one of my favorite characters was the guidance counselor who supported, the counselor who supported the students. And is that your role?
Mitch Mahoney, that's mine, yeah.
Yes, I just, that person was just, it was pretty impressive. The whole thing was impressive.
Yeah.
It was a great show, and so when I heard we're doing it again, it actually was one of my favorite shows. So
really? I'm
excited to see this, and I'm excited to see the next generation do it, and I'm putting some pressure on you. So if that was one of my favorite roles, maybe next time we're sitting here, you say, "Hey, how did I do?"
I very much will be. So
I can become like an art, performance critic.
It's very fun, and I'm very honored.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm looking forward to there and that first weekend in February.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Transportation is a hot topic across our nation, across our state, this area, but especially at Boardman. And again, I think we've said this probably every time we're on here. I appreciate our parents' patience. This has not been an easy problem to solve. When you have limited resources, that's always tough. So the resources we have to choose to solve it is brain power, creativity, and it's just good old elbow grease and hard work. And I want to thank our parents for their patience, and I also want to recognize our bus drivers. Many are running multiple routes. Our supervisor of transportation, Nick Denikis, he's just every day he's got to roll his sleeves up and find creative ways to solve these issues, and he's supported by a great team, Kathy Fate and Kathy Raschuti, both of them. Kathy Fate, who's his administrative assistant, she's a former driver. She's probably on the road more than she's in the office. All our drivers, and we don't ever want to say, hey, we can't get a kid to school. We're here to educate. So for our parents, if you get in that situation, it's not that we're not going to get your child to school. It may be delayed, but we're going to get a child to school, whatever it takes. If we have to send a van, if we have to send a principal and a counselor to pick you up, if I have to get my car and pick you up, we're going to find a way to get your child to school. And it's been a tough challenge, but we're working on it, and we'll continue to solve it until we have the resources to properly staff and provide the routes. And hopefully that curve will turn the other way. So I'm hopeful.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Mr. Saxton, for joining us today and clearing up everything that's going on right now. You're trying your best and you're doing an amazing job.
No, I appreciate it. I'm just glad to see some students in school, because I haven't seen students in it's been like 3 weeks since you guys have been in school.
It's been a while.
And I know you guys are probably out of shape, so we should probably wrap this up so you guys can get your brains warmed up for some intense academic success today.
Yes, sir. And with that said, I'm your host, Konner Hines for BSTN, and have a great day, Boardman.